Why should we care about a document written over 2 centuries ago? Specifically, why does Article 1 of the United States Constitution matter today? March 25, 2026? The answer is straightforward. It is the blueprint for our laws. Article 1 is the very first section of the Constitution and the longest. It creates the United States Congress, the branch of government closest to the people, where your voice is meant to be heard. The laws passed by Congress can affect your job, your healthcare, your taxes, and your rights. Understanding this part of our government's foundation shows where federal power comes from and how that power is designed to protect our freedoms. The framers had just broken away from a king. They were deeply suspicious of concentrated power. They wanted a government strong enough to function, but not so strong it could trample citizens' rights. So, what does Article 1 actually do? First and foremost, it establishes the legislative branch of the federal government. It states very clearly, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States. This is a powerful opening statement. It means that only Congress has the power to make federal laws. The President cannot make laws. The Supreme Court cannot make laws. That power belongs to the body elected by the citizens. Article 1 then divides Congress into 2 separate chambers, or houses, the House of Representatives, the Senate. This 2-part structure is known as a bicameral legislature, and it was created with a specific purpose in mind. The House of Representatives was designed to be the people's house. Its members are elected every 2 years. This short term is meant to keep them closely tied to the opinions and needs of their local districts. The number of representatives each state gets is based on its population. A more populous state like California has many more representatives. Texas has many more representatives. A less populous state like Wyoming has far fewer. Vermont has far fewer. This ensures that representation is proportional to the number of people. The House is where the pulse of the public is supposed to be most strongly felt. Article 1 does more than just create Congress. It gives Congress a specific list of its powers. These are often called the enumerated powers. They are the explicit authorities granted to the federal government by the Constitution. Think of it as a job description for Congress. Congress has the power to lay and collect taxes. This funds government work like building interstate highways, funding medical research, paying our soldiers, maintaining our national parks. Without the power to tax, the federal government would simply cease to function. Another critical power is the authority to regulate commerce. Congress can make rules for trade with foreign nations, trade among the several states, trade with the Native American tribes. The Commerce Clause is a major source of federal authority. It allows laws on many issues, like environmental protection, workplace safety, consumer protection, civil rights. It creates a single, unified economic market and prevents state trade barriers. Congress also holds keys to national security. Article 1 grants it the power to declare war. The framers gave that to the legislature, not a single executive. Power, if left unchecked, can be a threat to freedom. The framers understood this better than anyone you know. That is why Article 1 doesn't just grant powers. It also imposes strict limits. It builds guardrails to protect citizens from potential government overreach. Section 9 of Article 1 contains a crucial list of things the federal government simply cannot do. These prohibitions are fundamental protections for individual liberty. For example, Congress cannot pass a bill of attainder. This is a law that declares a person or group guilty of a crime and punishes them without a trial. This protection ensures that guilt is determined only by a court of law, not by a political body. Another vital protection is the ban on ex post facto laws. This is a Latin term meaning after the fact. It prevents the government from making an action illegal, then punishing people who committed that action earlier. You cannot be found guilty of a crime that did not exist when you acted. This principle provides stability and predictability. So, what is the final takeaway? Why should this structure, designed in the 18th century, matter to you today? It matters because Article 1 is the engine of federal power. It matters because Article 1 is the engine of citizen freedom. It creates a government capable of tackling national problems, defending the country, regulating the economy. It gives our leaders the tools they need to govern a large and complex nation. Without Article 1 powers, the federal government couldn't respond to crises, couldn't build infrastructure, couldn't protect the rights of its people. At the same time, Article 1 is a charter of liberty. The very same article that grants power also sets its limits. Division into two houses. The enumerated powers. Explicit prohibitions on government action. These features serve as checks on authority. They make lawmaking difficult by design. That deliberate process protects the minority from the tyranny of the majority. It forces deliberation and compromise. It helps safeguard every citizen from hasty or oppressive laws.